Another day, another fraudster has been pardoned by Donald Trump, the president of Law and Order, who is also a convicted felon. Anyways, from Fox News, Trump pardons former Virginia sheriff convicted of taking $75,000 in bribes. This is a crazy story, and this is why I get so mad when Trump's like, yeah, law and order, and then Republicans are like, yeah, arrest that congresswoman for assault because she got pushed into another ICE officer by an ICE officer and she assaulted him and blah, blah, blah. Or lock AOC up for educating people on their constitutional rights and apparently helping illegal immigrants and providing material support, whatever they say. Or the investigations they opened into that one judge. I'm blanking on the name right now. Like, Trump has taken government and weaponized it to, I don't want to say its fullest extent because that's his end goal. Like, we're just getting started. What he's doing now, if you think it's bad, it's going to get worse. So it's just a little ironic when Republicans and Trump are like, law and order, we're going after criminals. And like, bro, you've been in so many courts, been convicted of so many cases of fraud. Even a case of, not that this is fraud, but you're even a convicted like sex abuser. Some would say rapist. But no, we don't talk about that. We don't talk to you're a convicted felon on like 32, 33 counts. No, it's all a political witch hunt. Jesus Christ, man. Trump pardons former Virginia sheriff convicted of taking blah, blah, blah. We already read that. President Donald Trump on Monday announced that he will pardon a former Virginia sheriff convicted of taking more than $75,000 in bribes in exchange for appointing businessmen as auxiliary deputy sheriffs within his department. In a Truth Social post, Trump said Scott Jenkins, 53, of Culpeper, Virginia, was supposed to report to jail Tuesday, but instead will have a wonderful and productive life. Jenkins, the former sheriff of Culpeper County, was convicted last year of 1 count of conspiracy, 4 counts of honest service frauds, and 7 counts of bribery concerning programs receiving federal funds. He was sentenced in March to 10 years in prison. This sounds like waste, fraud, and abuse, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound like waste of federal funds and abuse of federal funds? Aren't you supposed to be cracking down on that? No, because you're not. You're only cracking down on what you disagree with, and you just call it woke or waste or fraud. But when it's something you agree with, or it's someone that you like, or that's on your same ideology, they can just get away with it, and you'll even pardon them. In his post, Trump said the former sheriff and his wife have been dragged through hell by a corrupt and weaponized Biden Justice Department. Oh my God. In fact, during his trial, when Sheriff Jenkins tried to offer exculpatory evidence to support himself, the Biden judge, Robert Balu, refused to allow it, shut him down, and then went on a tirade, Trump wrote. As we have seen in federal, city, and state courts, radical left or liberal judges allow into evidence what they feel like, not what is mandated under the Constitution and rules of evidence. Oh my God, dude. You're such a fucking hypocrite. Oh my God. You're the person who's fucking invoking the State Secrets Act anytime, like, in your current trials that you're dealing with in regards to mass deportations. Anytime a judge asks a question, you're like, classified state secret. Oh my God. This rhetoric is so fucking dangerous. Holy crap. It's so dangerous. This is our judicial system, and Trump just shits all over it and makes people honestly think that all these judges are politically motivated. It's crazy. And he's done this for a lot of things. He has single-handedly just dismantled so much that we used to rely on and what we thought was common sense, like health experts. Like, half the country's anti-vax now, thanks to Trump, in a sense. And remember when we had all those hurricanes a couple years ago, and Trump was out there saying that that Biden wasn't doing anything, FEMA wasn't doing anything, FEMA was actually giving money to immigrants to stay in nice hotels, to the point where people took up arms and formed militias to hunt FEMA agents, leading to them suspending operations temporarily. You remember that? He just says shit. Remember the Haitians eating the cats and dogs, and then, don't even get me started on that. But like schools in that area started getting bomb threats. This shit is dangerous. You can't just say shit. Like, what is going on? How is this okay? The sheriff is a victim of an overzealous Biden Department of Justice and doesn't deserve to spend a single day in jail. He is a wonderful person who was persecuted by radical left monsters and left for dead. This is why I, as President of the United States, see it fit to end his unfair sentence and grant Sheriff Jenkins a full unconditional pardon. Federal prosecutors allege Jenkins accepted cash bribes and bribes in the form of campaign contributions from co-defendants Rick Ram, Frederick Gumbiner, and James Metcalf, as well as at least 5 others, including 2 FBI undercover agents. And how the hell is Fox News out here still saying alleged? He was fucking convicted. Oh, God. In exchange, Jenkins appointed the people paying the bribes as auxiliary deputy sheriffs, a sworn law enforcement position, and issued them official Culpeper County Sheriff's Office badges and credentials, authorities said. None of the payers were trained or vetted and did not render any legitimate services to the sheriff's office. In April, Jenkins said he hoped Trump would intervene in his case. I truly believe if I could get an hour time with someone in the administration and lay out some facts with my attorney, and I really believe if they could hear the other side, which I couldn't get in front of the jury, I believe wholeheartedly in the president, he said during a webinar hosted by the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. I believe if he heard the information, I know he would help if he knew my story. Yeah, here's a life pro tip. If you want to commit any crime in the world, any crime, fraud, even murder, breaking into a federal building, like whatever it is, if you want to do that, you can actually just not go to jail by simply saying that the government is being weaponized against you and that you love Donald Trump. Boom. You're free. Please list all the people Trump has pardoned so far in his second term in the crimes, including Rod. ChatGPT likes to not mention Rod, so I had to really call it out. Let's look at what our law and order president, convicted felon, by the way, has done as far as pardons go. Political figures. Rod Blagojevich, former Illinois governor, convicted in 2011 for attempting to sell President Barack Obama's vacated Senate seat. Among other corruption charges, Trump commuted his sentence in 2020 and granted a full pardon on February 10, 2025. Michael Fiore, former Las Vegas City Council member and Nevada gubernatorial what the fuck is that candidate? Convicted in October 2024 for misusing $70,000 in donations intended for a police memorial. Pardoned by Trump. Brian Kelsey, former Tennessee state senator, convicted of conspiracy to defraud the United States in aiding and abetting the acceptance of excessive contributions. Pardoned. Law enforcement. Scott Jenkins. We just read that. Andrew Zabowski and Terrence Sutton, former DC police officers. That one I don't know enough, honestly, to make a judgment on. Russ Ulbricht, founder of the Silk Road. Trevor Milton, founder of Nikola Corporation, convicted of securities and wire fraud. BitMEX executives, that's like a cryptocurrency thing, right? Convicted of violating the Bank Secrecy Act, pardoned in March 27th. And then you have the January 6th Capitol rioters. Like, this person and other notable pardons: Devin Archer, former business associate of Hunter Biden, convicted of defrauding a Native American tribe. Gene Pinkard, convicted of conspiracy to distribute controlled substances, sentence commuted on March 4th. Like, how can you take this guy at his word when he says he is the president of law and order and that he is going to find waste, fraud, and abuse in government? How do you trust this? Please walk me through your mindset here. I wanted to just see what the deal with this. This was something that I said was very... This is just a flat-out lie, I guess. In fact, during his trial, when Sheriff Jenkins tried to offer exculpatory evidence to support himself, the Biden judge, Robert Bayou, refused to allow it, shut him down, and then went on a tirade. Asked ChatGPT, our favorite mega consultant, to fact-check this claim. The claim that Judge Robert Bayou, appointed by President Biden, refused to allow exculpatory evidence during Sheriff Scott Jenkins' trial and went on a tirade originates from a statement made by former President. Oh my God! Okay, if you've been following, one of my favorite ChatGPT hallucinations, and it just does this consistently. Like, I feel like Sam Altman is trolling Trump at this point. Almost like there's so many times where anytime Trump is mentioned, even in the modern present, tense, they refer to him as former President Trump. Oh my God. Okay. President Donald Trump. Trump asserted this in a Truth Social post announcing a full and unconditional pardon for Jenkins, who was convicted on federal bribery charges. However, independent verification of this specific claim is lacking. Publicly available court records and trial transcripts do not corroborate the assertion that Judge Ballew suppressed exculpatory evidence or exhibited unprofessional behavior during the proceedings. News outlets reporting on the case have noted Trump's allegations but have not provided evidence supporting them. Yeah, basically. So where did this come from? Trump and Fox News. It's important to note that Jenkins was convicted by a jury in December 2024 on multiple counts, including conspiracy, honest service frauds, and bribery concerning programs receiving federal funds. The conviction was based on evidence that he accepted over $75,000 in bribes exchanged for appointing individuals as auxiliary deputy sheriffs that we covered. In summary, while Trump has made claims regarding Judge Ballew's conduct during Jenkins' trial, there is no independent evidence currently available to substantiate these allegations. The claims remain unverified and is primarily based on Trump's statements. So yeah, it's just another instance of Trump just making shit up. He just says shit. He just says shit. So you can fact check almost everything he says and it's just not true. Like, he's such a fucking liar and such a hypocrite, and people still support him. And then will still be like, yeah, lock up that Democrat. Like, oh my God. Trump should be in jail. Trump should be in jail. And he's our president. He's a convicted felon. This is not someone that you should be trusting to uphold our Constitution, law and order, and go after waste, fraud, and abuse. Waste, fraud, and abuse are synonyms to Donald Trump. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.